So today I wanted to compare and just talk a little bit about some of the different brands of watercolors available, making color swatches, granulating versus non-granulating pigments, and how to choose the difference and why some are better in various situations. So let's start. These are the Daniel Smith 238 dot cards. So you get 238 colours, and it comes with a little dot of paint for each colour. And then there's a few ways that different people swatch those, but I've actually just sort of used the cards, and then the first time I swatched them, I actually swatched them out just with a little square, and then I dropped a little bit of water in at the end just to see how it granulated, and then I still was having a hard time kind of choosing the colours, so I've actually gone on to do some larger sort of swatches. And what you can see from this, I'll show you sort of a better example here. So for example, this one here is really smooth, and it's a non-granulating colour, whereas this one here has the pigment separates, and so it really depends. You can see, like here, this is intense granulation versus this is a little smoother, and the lemon yellow is not really granulating, the nickel azo. And so what's really interesting is that you can get different techniques for different types of paintings. Like if you're doing a floral painting, you may need smoother colours, and if you're doing, these would be great for like urban sketching, buildings and things like that. And then you also have like the Schmincke paint swatches, and so they are really smooth. So these are like, I would compare them to like silk chiffon. They're incredibly smooth and excellent for glazing. And glazing just means then you lay down the colour, you let it dry, and then you can go over the top of it. So these are all Schmincke except this one, which is a Winsor & Newton Cobalt Violet. You can see in the Brilliant Opera Rose, I'm not sure, you can see there's some slight sort of fluorescent pigmentation that kind of settles in there. So that's those. Then let's just look at a couple of different, so here you've got the Holbein, and they are also a really good brand. They're not very granulating, and I bought these actually for more of the pastel colours, the shell pink and the colours like that, but what I'm finding is they're a little bit opaque for what I'm looking to do. That's why I've been sort of looking at the Daniel Smith. So here's actually a swatch chart of the Dr. P.H. Martin's, I think it's set D or set B, I'm not sure. The Magello Missions, the Kuretake Gansai Tambi, and you can see here these colours have like a real gloss to them, so I don't know if it's going to come up, but they have like a real they dry with sort of a sheen on them, so you know, it's sort of a specific thing. If you want a shiny effect in the end of your painting, then they would be great. If you're not looking for shine, then they're not the ones for you. That's the Winsor & Newton, just the and then you've got the Daniel Smith. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do the swatches, and I like to do both. So I'll just show you an example, but these ones here, I wanted to try not to have them granulate. I wanted to have them as smooth as I could to see, you know, what granulation comes. These ones here, I actually tried to make them granulate. So let's just have a go of that. Okay, so say we're wanting to pick between the greens. So we can just go in, grab a bit of colour. And the way I like to do it is start to lay a little bit down and then actually sort of grab some water. And so you kind of almost doing like a wet on wet technique. So you start by just laying down a really fine layer to see how light you can get the colour. And then I go back in and just keep dropping some more colour in. In the top left corner I usually do, until I'm kind of happy with that, and then I might even go back in and just drop a little bit more water there, in there, just to see how that separates. You'll also start to notice like what colour is easier to pick up off the paper, like what re-wet's easier, and which ones go more vibrant easier. And then you can also do the same colours, just like this, and see how smooth you can actually get it and how light you can get it. So without trying to sort of make it granulate. Sorry, I think that was out of frame, so do it and try and make it as smooth as you can. Then you can dip it in water and just do one. Like that. You can also do ones where you pull the colour along. So for example, let's see if I can get any of this opera pink. So you start out really strong, and then you just get water and just start to pull that out, and you can see the colour sort of follows. So you can put some more intense colour there. Just pull that out. So you can play around with that and see what different effects you can get. Then you can also use this to kind of mix colours and see what, like for example, if you're trying to fill a palette and you don't want to put, you don't necessarily want to put in like a yellow orange, but you want an orange and a yellow, then you can work with a couple of different oranges and yellows to kind of see which one you like, how they mix. So if they mix a nice yellow orange, then you can just get an orange and a yellow. You don't need this kind of middle colour because you can mix a really nice one. Here's like an imperial purple. And this has a really nice granulating, almost got pink undertones in it. So you can put that on smooth, but if you drop some water back into that to let it granulate. So you can see in here, this is the imperial purple. And I don't know if you can see. It's got some really pretty sort of pink and violet and like a deep blue in there as well, so you might be able to mix something out of like an ultramarine violet. Like a bit of ultramarine blue maybe. And like a little bit of pink. I don't know, this may not work. But you can kind of see there that although this one's deeper, they are sort of both picking up some blues and some pinks in there. So you can play around with which colours will mix and which colours you want in your palette like that. So while I'm trying to figure out a couple of different palettes, one is for floral painting, one's like for urban sketching, for you know, buildings and things, and I love the old cottages and castles and things, and I want to be able to paint those. So I really love the Daniel Smith granulating browns for that. But I also really love this palette, this really moody kind of palette here. So I've started off this little and the good thing about making your own palette is that you can choose colours that will suit you, that'll suit what you're trying to paint. I really love the Schmincke violet. These Daniel Smith iridescents, these are actually from my sister's collection, and they're a little harder to re-wet, so it's good. You can either get like a little mister, or I just usually drop a bit of water on there. And I'll actually show you my sister's palette. So she's got this Jane Davenport one because she loves the colour of the tin, and it's actually not bad paint for a cheaper set of watercolours. For example, it's a lot better than the Prima watercolours, but where's them? So you can actually see here's the set. So that's the Jane Davenport, and that's just a different colour of them. But she's actually taken some of those out, and she's starting to put in like her own Daniel Smith sort of iridescence. So that's how you can sort of customise a palette to your own colours, what you think you like in the paintings. This is a #1 a Skoda brush as well. So this is a Schmincke, I think Brilliant Red Violet. This is a Daniel Smith iridescent hibiscus, I think. This is interference lilac, which is kind of a barely there colour, but I'm gonna try and show you a painting if I have time, where you can see how you can overlay this, and it'll be really pretty. And so this is Duochrome Desert Bronze. And what's interesting about these palettes is that I kind of was I've been collecting these, and my sister was collecting these, and so there you can see the shimmer of the lilac. Yet it's almost a similar palette. It's almost the same sort of colours, but she's got them in the shimmer. So I don't know. You can kind of see that there. So you can do swatches kind of in the setting or the concept that you're going to use it, so that you can, just really quick ones, you know, sketchy kind of ones, so that you can see whether anything grabs your attention or whether you really need something or you don't like a certain way, you know, the pigment performs, things like that. So that's just a little bit about colour swatching. Thanks for watching. Bye.